It was roughly around this time, that you married for the first time, wasn't it?
Yes, it was during the run of Fair Lady here in England, as a matter of fact, that I married Tony.
And he was in films, in design.
He was a designer, yes, and really just beginning in those days, and now, of course, he's one of the biggest designers on
Yes.
Broadway and of films, too.
With a lot of big credits to his name.
Yes.
Indeed. The marriage eventually broke up. I would not like you even to dwell on this, but may I ask you whether you personally ascribe that breakup in some degree to your own success?
Yes, I think the marriage broke up around sort of the time of Sound of Music and the films, rather than obviously all the
Yes.
Broadway times. And I think you're right. There was an enormous amount of pressure, and I was so terribly busy. And Tony certainly wasn't about to become Mr. Julie Andrews. And I don't think there's any doubt that success had a lot to do with it.
You have, of course, subsequently proved that a show business marriage can work.
Yes, I hope.
Well,
one hopes.
all right. Now, then, from the big Broadway successes to Hollywood, and to Walt Disney first, really, wasn't it?
Yes. I was doing Camelot on Broadway, and Walt Disney came to see that show, and afterwards came backstage and asked if Tony and I would like to go to Hollywood to see the plans he had for a musical based on the book by P.L. Travers. And we both went to Hollywood, was spoiled rotten by Walt Disney, who was wonderful to us both, and I ended up playing Mary Poppins, and Tony ended up doing the sets and costumes for that film.
You made your home there, then, for quite a long time.
Yes, we kept coming back to England in between times, but then eventually it seemed to make sense to take a place over there, because really the bulk of the work was over there.
Do you like it?
Yes, very much. Yes, I like America and Americans.
But if one thinks of the film S.O.B., you also have some critical things to say about it.
Yes.
Or, not you personally, maybe, but you have...
No, I endorse everything that Blake has to say about Hollywood. He's really tilting at the big authority in Hollywood. He's not taking pot shots at the really wonderful people who build the sets and do the makeup and hair and things like that. But he really was taking an enormous swipe, and quite right, too,
Yes.
at big business over there. But it could have been big business anywhere. It could have been General Motors or IBM or
But
whatever.
is that aspect of Hollywood still very much as it was?
I think so, yes. It's so crazy that an art form like the film industry is thought of in terms of cash first, and that's the thing that comes out of everyone's eyes.
I suppose your first personal experience of that was around this time, when you didn't get the film of My Fair Lady.
Well, I really didn't expect to. I mean, when you think that I had only done My Fair Lady and the Boyfriend on Broadway, and I wasn't known in the movies, and they needed a box office name, so I did understand it. I was obviously very disappointed.
But Mary Poppins, did you enjoy making that one?
Yes. Talk about a trial by fire. It was a technically very hard film to make because of all the special effects and things like that. So it was the best learning experience I could have had in terms of how a film is made, because there was an enormous amount of detail and waiting around and patience needed.
Yes.
And it was marvelous to do, though. And wonderful that a first film was for Walt Disney, because he was so kind.
Is it, though, the one that has left you with a legacy of that personality which is not your own?
Well, I suppose it has to a degree be a part of me. I mean, I don't pretend that it's not. No, I think probably The Sound of Music is the one that's done that.
One story, again, told about you, and I wonder if it's true. When you went on to make Hawaii, was it, with Max von Sydow, and you there were playing a missionary's wife. Did you not make some comment about Mary Poppins marrying Jesus?
Yes, because Max, in fact, had portrayed...
played...
Yes, Jesus Christ, yes. I thought it was the perfect pairing for Hollywood.